Alright, today's project is going to be on my daily driver. This is my daily driver camper towing pig fixer-up truck that I use on job sites. And right now the four-wheel drive doesn't work. It does occasionally. Turn it on, sometimes it'll have four-wheel drive. Turn it on, sometimes it won't have four-wheel drive. The dash here, which is probably not doing it right now because I'm filming. But you get in here and you turn the key on. Alright, it's not going to do it right now, but right in here it'll flash up service four-wheel drive. And this will go blank. There won't be any lights. And it's doing that intermittently. So that tells me that because it's electronic, there's a little ring inside of your transfer case shift motor is what it's called. And it's what actually moves the transmission whenever you push a button for four-wheel drive. It has a little disc inside of it. It's called an encoder. And inside that encoder, it goes bad. The encoder is what tells it where it is. Like, it'll turn around one direction to a certain point, and it'll know, hey, I'm in four-wheel drive at this point, and it'll stop there. But if that encoder is going bad, or if the wires to it are going bad, it won't know where it is, so the whole system shuts down, so that way it doesn't, twist the shifter off the side of the transfer case. But I'm going to jack this truck up, crawl underneath it. I'll show you where it is. I'll show you how to get it out. And hopefully we'll get that encoder out. The whole motor is typically between $250 and $300. Well, like $350 depending on where you're getting it from. But it shifts. I mean, whenever you need it, whenever it's working fine, I push a button and the whole thing moves. So I hate to replace the whole component whenever it's just one part of it that's failed. Kind of like that motor I did a video on a while back. I don't like spending money I don't have to, and if I can spend 10 extra minutes and fix something instead of just replacing the whole thing, not only does it show I'm a little more intelligent than the average person, but it also means that I get a little more money in my pocket. And I like jingling around money, because that's how I spend money on other cool stuff that I got. But anyway, I'll start jacking this truck up in the air and get stuff ready. No sense boring you with all that. I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Alright, so this is your front drive shaft. Don't mind the light. And it comes on back to your, this might work a little better, transfer case. That right there, this black thing, sticking out the back, and with these, you can see two of them, but there's 3 bolts holding on. That's your transfer case shift motor. Now to get your transfer case shift motor off, you have to remove this drive shaft so you have enough room to pull it out. Okay, now that's got a hose clamp on it already because I've done this once before. I've had this truck about 6 years, and I'm on my 3rd one. This is a known Achilles heel for these Chevys. And by the way, one of them was actually my fault completely. Those wires right there on the old one got down and contacted the drive shaft, and it rubbed a hole in them, and that caused this box to malfunction, shift control motor. But anyways, your front drive shaft, what you gotta do is get those bolts out. And if I can film this, let's see if we can do this with the light here. Put it right there. Yeah, you can still see those. Okay. What you want to do is you want to get a bar or something. I'm using these extensions. Get it wedged up in there. Like such. Yeah, like that. So you can hold on to it. And then, let's see if I can put this. Oop, he fell. Well, anyways, then once you get your bar in there, or you use a pry bar or whatever, I just happen to have those extensions handy. Then you take your wrench, you stick it on there, and then you hold them both and you loosen it. I'm not going to be able to do this and hold the camera, so just take my word for it, but it does work. And we'll move on from there. Alright, once again, I'm sorry about the... Well, let's actually try. There, it's a little softer. A lot of the videos I watched online said that you had to take this cross member out. This is your transmission cross member. And that may be true if you want to actually get the drive shaft, the front drive shaft, the whole way out. But we're not looking to do that. We just need it out of our way, right? Because we're not planning on working on this at all. So, once you get it free, and if you position it, just right, and you hold your mouth in just the right way, if I can do this, let me think, you gotta give me credit here, I only do this once every couple of years, so, what you basically gotta do is kind of get it, well, you gotta get it off, and then you can actually stick it kind of up towards the engine and get it up and wedged in on top of that engine mount, and it'll be good. I don't think I can film and do this, but that's what I plan on doing. Alrighty. Just like that. Right there. And this side is out. And as you can see, our motor is accessible. Now we can take out those 3 bolts, unplug the wiring harness there, slide that puppy out. Alright, so here's how it looks coming out of the truck. Unplugged here, there's a little gray tab, you just slide it back and then you can push the spring in that lets that loose and unplugs all these connectors. And then you got this cover on it. Take that cover off. By the way, I do not have this clamped in the vise. It's only sitting in there because it's not flat. So it's easier to work on when you got it sitting mostly flat. But anyway, then you take this screw, which they're these long ones, and then this screw and this screw out. I had to get out my hand impact to get these top 2 screws out. I think they had a little Loctite on them or something. I didn't want to strip them, so watch you don't strip it. But then you can slide this off. And right there is your set of gears. Now, like I said, this gear here is keywayed. The one tooth is off. So what you want to do is what I do is I'll take my marker here, put a mark here, mark there, see, so they're lined up. I'll put a mark here, one here, so they're lined up. I'll put one here, and one here. So that way when after I lift that gear off, when I go to put it back together, I can get those all lined right back up. Okay. You lift this gear off. It should just lift. And right there on the back side is There's your encoder disc, and it should just... I'll be able to do this one-handed. Oh, there it goes. Yep, slide right off. And that's usually the source of the headache, right there. And I think I can tell by the fact that this one's loose. That's probably most definitely my problem. And here, in this box, from your local, yet-to-be-named department store, we have this ring, which all you gotta do is we'll set this one down here, pull these wires out. I don't think I can do that one-handed. Let's try. Alright, you gotta pull those wires out, plug that one in to this one's, plug this one in where that one was, and then put it all back together. There's a little detent, you can see it right there, right underneath my finger, that needs to line up with this keyway. Alright, I got it all back together, got this, and that all lined back up. And now, all you need to do is reverse engineer it. Slide this puppy back on. Like such. Sit down in, I'll put those screws in, put that gasket back on, we'll put it back in the truck. One thing I forgot to mention is whenever you're putting this back on, the spline drive here kind of sits in a little bearing cup. So sometimes you gotta wiggle it and jiggle it just about right to get it. And I always like to put just a little bit of Loctite on these bolts. Just because they're so hard to get at and I don't want them backing out without me knowing about it. But because this has been such an issue, I do want to be able to get those bolts back out again. Now, let's see if it works. Now, we'll have to rehook that front drive shaft back up. That should only take a minute. And this way, if it didn't work, I don't have to take the drive shaft back out to fix it. But let's see. No codes displayed, and let's see if she shifts. This is when I used to get all kinds of problems before hot. Auto. Back to 2. Put it in 4 low, I'd have to put it in neutral, and I don't want to do that on the jack stand. Alright. Put that drive shaft back on, and I think that we can call this project done. Alright, for the 4-wheel drive on the Silverado, did it work? Was it worth it? Would I do it again? I have to say, did it work? Well, I'll let you guys be the judge. We're now in 4-wheel drive. Now we're in 2-wheel drive. Now we're in auto. Put it in neutral. Oh, there it goes then to 4 low. And then back into 4 high, which is where I need it for the moment. So, yes, it absolutely worked. It absolutely, I think if you have some mechanical ability, is worth it. I'd rather spend $75 than $200, $300 any given day of the week. Would I do it again? Yes, but hopefully I won't have to, because I think I fixed it finally good enough where hopefully it never needs fixing again. This is a known problem for these Silverados, and it does happen quite a bit. So it's something, if you're going to own one of these trucks and you're going to run into higher mileage, like I got almost 150,000 on this, you're going to run into this issue eventually. So knowing how to fix it, I think would work out very well for you if you have some mechanical aptitude. Other than that, it's great. We'll see how long it runs. It's been a couple months, and you get another update if it ever does go bad again. Thank you, and that's the end of this project.